Japanese Tales, Red Heat. A pair of monks, one old and one young and handsome, were on their way to Kumano. On reaching Muro County, not far from their goal, they found lodging with a young widow who lived all alone, aside from the company of a few maids. The widow noted the younger monk's good looks, and desire made her treat him very well. After dark, the two monks retired, but in the middle of the night she stole to the younger one's bed and lay down beside him. When he woke up in alarm, she did her best to calm him. "I don't normally have people to stay," she said, "but I knew I wanted you as soon as I saw you today. That's why I asked you in, and that is why I'm here. I am a widow, you see. Please be ever so gentle to me." The monk jumped up, protesting that he had vowed long ago to remain chaste, and he reminded her that he had come a long way to make this pilgrimage. "If I suddenly break my vow, we will both suffer for it," he cried. "Stop. Please forget your desires." His refusal only stung her to anger. All night she twined herself around him, though he managed both to humor her and to keep her off. "It's not that I really want to refuse you," he explained. "As soon as I've spent a few days at Kumano, I can be back, and then I will do whatever you want. Believe me." Finally, she accepted his promises and went away. At dawn, the monk and his companion set off. The love-struck widow counted the days and prepared to receive the handsome monk on his return, but he was frightened and took care to go back home another way. She became worried when he failed to come, and began questioning the people passing outside on the road. One pilgrim answered her that yes, a pair of monks like that, one old and one young, had left Kumano several days before. The widow panicked when it dawned on her that they had avoided her house altogether. She went home in a rage, shut herself up in silence in her room, and then died. Even as her maids were mourning her, a large, foul snake, immensely long, suddenly issued from her room and left the house. It slithered down the road away from Kumano. The travelers it passed were terrified, for it filled the entire way. Up ahead, the two monks heard that a massive snake was racing their way over hill and dale, and catching up with them fast. They knew right away who the snake truly was, and they fled for their lives to seek the refuge of the doji. Having heard their story, the monks of the temple decided to help. Holding a council, they then let down their bell over the young monk and barred the gate. The massive snake soon came, easily climbing over the barred gate, and slithered a few times around the compound. Then it went straight for the hall with the bell. When the door collapsed under its massive weight, the snake darted inside, wrapping itself around the bell. It stayed that way for hours, beating on the top of the bell with its tail, till despite their fear, the monks surrounded the hall and opened all the doors on all four sides to watch the spectacle. The snake after a time lifted its head, its tongue flickered, and tears of blood continued to stream from its eyes. Then it fled in the direction that it had come. The bell glowed red hot from its foul, burning breath, and the monks could not even go near it till they had dashed it with much water from the well to cool it down. When they finally lifted it, they found that nothing, not even bones, was left of the monk inside. There was only a small heap of ashes. The monk's older companion wept as he took his leave. Later on, the abbot of Dojoji dreamed of a massively large snake. "I am the monk who hid in the bell," it said. Once that woman had become a snake, she took me prisoner and made me hers. Now I suffer horribly in this awful snake body, and I cannot save myself from my pain. When I was alive, I devoted myself to the Lotus Sutra. Please, your grace, show me mercy, put an end to my torment, purify yourself, and copy the revelation of the Buddha's eternal life of the sutra, and dedicate it to both of us snakes. Save us from this ending agony. The snake then crawled away, and the dreamer awoke. The abbot copied the chapter in question, and called the monks of the temple together for a day-long ceremony to dedicate it for the two snakes. Soon, that night, the monk dreamed again. This time, the handsome monk and the woman came to Dojoji together, smiling. They prostrated themselves before the abbot and told him, with thanks to his kindness, that they were rid now of their snake bodies, and happy and calm at last. For, said the woman, I have been born into the Tori heaven. And I, spoke the man, have gone to the Sutsu heaven. And with these words they floated into the sky. The Tori heaven is where the great god Tashuki has his palace at the top of Shumisen, the cosmic mountain. And the Tosutsu heaven is the even higher realm where Miroku, the future Buddha, waits to be born into our world.